All right, so we're going to continue learning with adding up our fractions, except this time we're going to be moving on to mixed numbers. And mixed numbers just means it's a mixture of whole numbers and fractions. Um, so we were introduced really to improper fractions yesterday, and now to mixed numbers, and they're sort of related, as I'll show you in this warm-up over here. So if you have an improper fraction, it means your top number, your numerator, is bigger than your bottom number. And what that means as far as fraction goes is that you have enough to actually pull whole numbers out of that group. The easiest way to do that is just to do some division. So let me show you on that. So we divide our denominator into our numerator just like this. All right, so we're dividing 6 into 7. 6 goes in once, and then we have 1 left over. So I were able to pull one group out of there. So there's my one whole. I had 1 left over out of 6. Do the same thing up here. Divide 6 into 8. Got 2 left over. I was able to get 1 full group out of it. We have 2 out of 6 left. And divide 6 into 11. 6 can't go into 1, but 6 can go into 11 once. And that gives us 1 whole and then 5 out of 6 parts. Now, one thing I want to point out is you'll notice with imperfect fractions and mixed numbers, they all have the same denominators. So that's how you know for sure at least what your denominator number should be when you're doing these. So that's how interrelated they are. They still have the same denominator. Okay. This lesson starts on page 237. And we'll go through a few of these. First thing is Jenna spent 1 2/3 hours mowing the backyard. After taking a break, she spent 3/4 of an hour mowing the front yard. So how many hours did she spend mowing the whole yard? So this is, again, addition. Same rules apply as like with yesterday. We have two different denominators, a 3 and a 4. So we can't do anything with these just yet. What we need to do is come up with a common denominator. And an easy way to do that is list out our factors. And if I go out on these, I notice that 12 is my common denominator. So here's our 12. Okay. Just like yesterday, we set up our problems vertically, and that can help us create equivalent fractions here. So the common denominator is 12. So I'm going to rewrite this with 12 as the denominator. And now I have to figure out how to do this. So let's see, 4 can change to 12 by multiplying by 3. So that gives me 9/12. And for this, just notice how I just brought my whole number over, because I don't have to mess with that at all. It's a whole number. It's not dealing with a fraction process. But I know 3 times 4 will give me 12. So 2 times 4 will give me 8. And now what we have to do here is we're going to add 1 8/12 plus 1 9/12. And that's going to give us 1 17/12. Now, you can probably tell by the warm-up that we need to know what to do with this improper fraction here. So let's divide 12 into 17. It doesn't go into 1, but it goes once into there. And this equals 1 5/12. So that's just for this portion. We still haven't dealt with this guy yet. So it's basically going to be 1 plus 1 5/12 equals 2 5/12 hours in this case. So something to be cautious with that. All right, let's turn the page. Now, there's a couple techniques here. Models, and the models are here, and then number line. I'm not going to spend some time on that because I don't feel it's something we're going to be actually end up using in the end. If we had the time, we could, but I'd prefer not to with that. So let's go right into it here. Look at the models of the previous page. What's the common denominator of 1 2/3 and 3/4? We know that's 12. You can find this common denominator without a model. Write a multiplication equation that shows you that the denominators of 3 and 4 are related to 12. Well, that's pretty simple. 3 times 4 equals 12. When in doubt, if you're really lost on it, you can always just multiply your denominators and get it. Use this common denominator to find equivalent fractions for 1 2/3 and 3/4. So we knew 3 times 4 gave us 12. So that gives us 8. 4 times 3 gave us 12. That gives us 9. It gives 1 17/12. All right. Again, these are all things that we just did. We're just breaking down each step. The fractional part of the mixed number in problem 3 is more than 1. How could you rewrite the mixed number so its fractional part is less than 1? So 17/12 equals 1 5/12. Just like that. Another trick I've learned is this with these is you can always just subtract the numerator, the denominator from the numerator, which gives you a difference of 5. But we're not going to get into that today. How many hours did Jenna spend mowing the whole yard? Well, 1 plus 1 5/12 equals 2 5/12. Explain how to add with mixed numbers. Pretty simple. We always start with find a common denominator. Add fractional parts. And the whole numbers. And I don't have a lot of room here, but you guys can see it, and the whole numbers. There you go. All right, let's turn the page. Let's try out some of these. All right, we'll skip 6, go on to 7. What's the sum of 1 1/6 and 2 3/8? So let's find common denominator. Factors of 6. We got 6, 12, 18, 24. Factors of 8, 8, 16, 24. So, and like I've said, you're going to get working with some of these numbers enough where you'll probably know the common denominator just by glancing at it. That's why more practice helps with these. All right, so if we're converting to the denominator of 24, let's make equivalent fractions. All right, 8 times 3, that gives me 2 9/24. 6 times 4 gives me 1 4/24. We add up our fractional part, that gives me 13/24. We add up our whole numbers, that gives me 3. And our answer is 3 13/24. Let's look at the next one. Cameron has 4 3/4 pounds of raspberries, 2 1/8 pounds of blueberries, and a ½ pound of blackberries to make fruit salad. How many pounds of fruit does Cameron have in all? So again, that in all phrase tells us that we should be adding. So let's break down our denominators. I've got 2, I've got 4, and I've got 8. I already know that 2 can eventually have a multiple of 8. 4 can have a multiple of 8. So I don't really need to do work. I think I already know that 8 is my common denominator. So let's add these up. It's 2 1/8 plus 1/2. All right. All right. Let's see. 4 times 2 gives me 8. 3 times 2 gives me 6. This already has an 8, so we don't convert anything. 2 times 4. Okay. Let's add up our fractions. We have 4 plus 1 is 5/8. Plus 6 is 11/8. Add up our whole numbers. We have 6 and 11/8. What we have to do is then convert our 11/8 into a mixed number equals 1 and 3/8. So this equals 6 plus 1 and 3/8, and it gives me 7 and 3/8, just like that. And let's do one more. What's the value of this expression? 5 and 3/5 and 4 and 1/15. So I've got denominators of 5 and 15. So, yeah. Okay. Most kids don't get this far in the video anyway. All right, so we have 5 and 3/5. Then we'll add 4 and 1/15. So with this one, we have 5 and 15. We should know that the common denominator is going to be 15 because 5 is a multiple of 15. So we're going to leave that one alone. We do have to convert this 3/5 though. So if I know times 3 gives me that, and times 3 gives me that, this makes 9/15. So we add up our fractions. I've got 10/15. And add up our whole numbers, it's 9, 10/15. In this case, I know I can simplify 10/15 to 9 and 2/3 because I know 2 5s can go into 10, and I know so 3 5s can go into 15. So 9 and 2/3. Okay, so your classwork is going to be L19, add mixed numbers with unlike denominators. And again, it's very similar to what we did today, of course. But if you need any help, I'm here to help you get through it.